This week on the Face Off Hockey Show, we'll talk about how much you can drink without legally getting completely plastered and blackout drunk. We'll talk about playing with no fingers. And our Stanley Cup also has Ovi not leaving it. It's quite amazing. Oh, he's falling. Oh, he's drunk. Face Off Hockey Show right now.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face Off Hockey Show. With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
a breakaway. They shoot the guard. There we go.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes.
Here's your host for the Face Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
Listen, we left off last week's show saying we didn't want to come back here on a Wednesday to do a 1 hour preview show of Game 7. Thank God they ended it when they did on Thursday night, because I don't think I could have waited till Sunday. Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
I didn't even bring the video back up. I'm that excited.
It's fantastic. Welcome to Face Off Hockey Show. I'm indeed Scotty Waz. Johnny P there, all capped out, all caps everything.
All caps everything. I got I decided to go full authentic Verona. I got the 46.
Nice.
I figure that's the size he wears, right?
Here's the thing. 46, a lot of alcohol drenched, maybe some tattoo residue.
I've got 2 out of 3.
If there's a guy who went harder in the paint than Ovi, it could have been Jacob Vrana or Andre Burakovsky.
But he's smaller. Like Verana's smaller. Like he might not have even drank as much as Ovi.
Very true. That's a very fine point. But yes, the Washington Capitals.
I will also say that the Adidas 46 really isn't that much different than the Adidas 50. But the 46 fits me really well with a t-shirt underneath of it, and the 50 fits me really well with a sweatshirt underneath of it. So apparently I have one of each size now.
Nice.
We
call that disposable income, folks.
Yeah. I need to get Verana put on this one, though. This is going to be my Verana jersey.
Nice little 13 action there. So yeah, the Washington Capitals come back to win Game 5 Thursday night. Capture the first Stanley Cup in 44 years. This is all we're going to talk about most of the show, folks. So if you're a Caps fan, strap in for some fun. If you're not a Caps fan, we'll see you next week as we get ready for Dallas.
And if you're Leahy, we'll see you next week also.
Yeah, exactly. If you're one of our friends, we'll see you next week in Dallas regardless. If you're not one of our friends, we'll get on our level, Scrub Lord. In any case, Johnny, aside from the debauchery that happened Thursday night, what'd you do with your weekend of winning?
Let's see. So Thursday night, you guys got Voxes of me wooing for nearly 3 to 5 minutes and crying into Voxer.
It was interesting. It was interesting, but I enjoyed it.
It was effectively bipolar in a box is really what it came down to.
All right then.
Yeah. So that was Thursday night. Pretty certain I just kept drinking on Friday night.
Okay, that's fair.
No, I was drinking on Friday night because I was rewatching the game on Friday night. What did I do this weekend? Saturday we took Hudson out for his first U.S. men's soccer team game against France. I mean, we weren't there; they were in France. That would be a lot of disposable income. We just went to the bar. But he had on his little USA gear. Got a picture with the kid. His head's almost as big as mine. It's amazing.
He has a remarkably large head.
Massively huge dome on that kid.
Like an orange and a toothpick.
True. That would be actually really funny. Take a picture and send it to Brittany and Mark. Be like, hey, Hudson's at my house. What else occurred? Sunday, I think.
Now.
Sunday, I think, was a detox day. I'm pretty certain I didn't drink on Sunday. Monday night, I played soccer. We lost 2-0, but I had like 8 saves, and I actually played really well, other than the fact that I dropped a ball and it ended up in the goal.
The hell of a drop.
Yeah, and then Tuesday night, what happened Tuesday night? Tuesday night, I watched the parade. Tuesday night, I watched the parade. I may or may not have drank on Tuesday night.
Which I'm not gonna lie, all the player introductions were fantastic. Joe B and John Walton did a pretty fantastic job. The parade itself is a normal parade. Philip Grubauer just running all across with a DC flag, and I think it was Burakovsky running up and down like he was entering, he was like a baby face in the 80s in the Territory Times. Just running down. It was great times. Seemed like I knew a lot of friends there. Our old producer slash host slash good buddy David P. Lycomi was down there.
He was famous.
Yeah, he brought his own like replica Stanley Cup with him, and away he went. And Mark with a C will join us here in moments. And he was talking about how local TV is essentially bandwagon fan central with the mispronunciations and whatnot.
Well, yeah,
and I expect that. I'm not surprised. I just find it. I find that assumption or that characterization very spot on.
Well, even last week when we were talking to Leahy about all the extra media at Game 4, he said that a lot of the extra media is local TV and print that don't normally go to games.
Yeah, and I was listening to Greg on Puck Soup, and he said a lot of the extra media also Danish media, Finnish media, guys who are localized to our country or something. And wow. You gotta figure the Danes were there.
Danish because media was probably fantastic.
They travel easy. They travel in a tin can. It's amazing.
Yeah. Whew.
And they separate them by those little pieces of wax paper. It's great.
God, now I want to go and get Danish cookies. Can you get? I bet you can get them on Amazon all year long, right?
Oh, please, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
One of the big questions is, what dumb bullshit did you buy?
Everything. Let's go down the list.
Yes.
So I did get you and Jen stuff also.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
That will be coming with me. Mark and Hudson got a Game 4 puck, towel from Game 4, and a light stick from Game 4.
Those light sticks are fantastic. They look fantastic.
Yeah, I figured they'd be a lot of fun for a child.
Yeah. Oh, please, yeah. If it doesn't give them a little bit of shock. Yeah, exactly.
So the list of things that I got myself: a Game 4 puck, a final patch, the jersey. I got an Adidas. Oh, this is an amazing story. I almost forgot about this. I got an Adidas polo shirt.
Nice.
All right. Capitals polo, blue. Got like red stripes, Adidas red logo on the side. I also got a Champions patch that I'm going to put on the chest of the polo shirt to make it look more official. But this thing, $75, right? $75. I'm like, all right, that's a little much for a polo shirt, but I'll get some use out of it. I'm sure. I used the Reebok one that I got a lot. I mean, yeah, let's go for it. Models being Models. I walk up to the register and they're like, oh, rings up $18. Then they take 10% off because apparently I wasn't in their computer system any longer, even though I was an MVP member in the past. So I had to sign up for the MVP award. So they take 10% off. It's like a $15 polo.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, this is amazing. I got those shoes that you sent me.
Nice. The Adidas.
Yeah. I got a program. I found the playoffs hat finally. I had to order it from Canada. It's the fitted one for the playoffs, the Adidas one. I don't want that Fanatics crap.
Yeah.
I got this just in case I ever finish my basement.
Nice.
Stanley Cup Molson Canadian playoffs handle. So I can put in a tap now. I can put in 2 maybe because Scotty said that he has a Natty Bow one.
Yeah.
And I got a Metro card too. Those Metro cards look fantastic.
I have not. Obviously, mine are being shipped, but
well, no, we haven't gotten them yet. They haven't printed them up, but they look good.
They look fantastic.
Yeah. So I got some things to frame as well, like some pictures and a poster.
Sweet.
Considering I didn't have any of the papers, but I thought the papers looked cool, I got a poster of the papers.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Oh man.
I don't know. That's about it, really. I haven't gotten any like champs gear yet. I don't think.
Well,
I mean the patch and stuff, but like not the ice hat.
Sure. Yeah, I know my mom said she's gonna get me the cup shirt. I'm like, that's cool.
The cup.
Yeah, the cup. She's gonna get me Stanley's cup, and I'm like, that's not. No,
Hold on.
that's not. No,
That cup hasn't been used for years.
No, Dad. No. Why are you forsaking me?
Your mom's like, "Hey, I got you a photo op with the Stanley Cup," and you're like, "Okay, cool." And Ovi shows up at your house.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Oh, God bless Ovi for living his best life. Honestly,
His new job is keeper of the cup.
Right? How fantastic is that? Why can't I find the order?
I did want to give an early shout out tonight to all of the Capitals fans who changed something up this season. It worked. So thank you.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Guys, it finally did it. We finally did it.
Like, had we known that I just had to blow up the damn Stanley Cup and put it behind me on the show for the entire playoffs, and you had to actually write a gimmick of numbers throughout the season, like we would have done this years ago.
We would have had 3 or 4 by now. I would have had to keep doing
banner.
I had to keep doing Ivan LeBray over and over again, though. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, maybe that was what put it over the edge.
Perhaps.
Maybe somebody saw it and was like, you know what, we want to see Bet Gustafson.
Right, exactly. We want Ben.
All of those were fantastic, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Appreciate it. Why won't my calendar come up? Oh, there we go. The 9th was a Saturday. When did I order all my dumb bullshit? And who did I order from? That's another question. Because there's like 17 different places. First, I ordered the Washington Post magazine. They have they're doing a full color magazine.
Oh, that's cool.
So I ordered that through them. So that was cool. I'm like, yeah, I gotta get that. Where the hell is my rest of my shies? I got all because I talked to the Oyo people, and they said, we're already limited on the cap stuff, so we're not gonna be able to do a championships thing. I'm like, you sons of bitches. So I went.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of messed up. They said even with regardless of who it was, if it was Vegas or if it was the Caps, they weren't going to do it because they were oversold. They're over forecast, which is awesome. I'm glad people are buying it.
What does that mean? Does that mean that do they sell licenses for a certain number?
I think so. Yeah,
that's interesting.
It really is. It really is.
Wow.
So there's that, and then so I bought the rest of the ones I didn't have caps wise. So I got like $80 worth of Oyos coming my way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what put us over the edge was the I have Team Oyo still upstairs.
There you go.
Set up.
There it is. I bought the Washington Post thing called Worth the Wait. $17 on that. So that was pretty slick.
Nice.
And now I'm trying to find where the hell all my other dumb bullshit is. Because I bought a lot. You know what? Hey, you know what?
I'd like to find out what ends up at Kohl's because I'm sure that I'm gonna get that from my parents at some point.
Right? Yeah.
They only shop at Kohl's, I think.
If I only your mom too, because my mom does too. She gets all the Kohl bucks. It's amazing. My thing was like, where's the Vegas stuff going? Where's all that Vegas? Is it going to the third world nations? Where are we going with this? Seems like an interesting concept.
I guess so.
Minus 250.
I don't know. I'm gonna say so. I do realize I've spent a lot of money recently, and I know I get this. But this might not happen again.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
And I could start saving money again later in the year.
Yep. It helps. It definitely helps. That was my thing too. It's just like this isn't going to happen again. Like if it does, boy howdy, that's
I
fantastic.
I will say that I fully remember us sitting here in August, going when the Caps team's coming together, right before training camp, going, this would be the year.
Yep.
This would be the year that they win the Stanley Cup when nobody has them doing anything.
Right. And lo and behold, here we are. Here we freaking are. Where did I order this stuff from?
I'll
I'm
also
Go ahead.
say that when the clock went out,
Oh,
with like a minute 15 left, I like jumped up and yelled at my TV. Scotty was fucking right. The Penguins are coming out.
it was like they would lose that way, and apparently it added 3 seconds on. FYI.
Well, okay, so after they talked about it for between 15 and 30 seconds, they probably just went, you know what? Fuck it. I don't know. Let's go. Let's keep
You're
playing.
right. Guys, I can't figure it out.
Did you see the two guys holding actual stopwatches
Yeah,
at the table? Like, I haven't seen one of them since gym class in middle school.
they're just like comparing us. Like, nah, so this one, it's this one here. All right, apparently,
Like, I think that I would have felt more comfortable on what the time was if there was literally somebody there doing it on their iPhone.
Yeah, it would have been more direct. I'm like, are they going to have to go to Toronto to replay all of this stuff? Apparently, yes. I can't find it. This is
Hell of
terrible.
it.
Exactly. I bought a lot of dumb bullshit. So,
Did you say Uggs?
oh, I've been great if it was Uggs. Oh, if I bought championship Uggs, that'd be just. Mwah.
That's when you know that like gear's gone too far.
Right? That's what I know. It's just like, okay, now, all right.
I will say that I saw some like random things though. It was the Game 5 puck signed by Lars Eller with the insignia game-winning goal and the date on it on the
Weird.
NHL. On the NHL shop. There was an autographed Ovechkin puck from Game 5.
I always love the used ice portions of the show.
Yes. What you could this year you could get either the crystal cup or a crystal puck with used ice in it.
It helps, both of them.
Which I mean, how do you really know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know how you can just like here's Jim Bob scraping up the ice.
And I have a weird question, and this is probably just me, but how do they fill them?
That's a fair point.
Like to me, they look like they're pretty airtight. So how do you like fill it with water and then like I don't get it.
Hey, guess what? I realized that the email that I use my thing on, different email.
Do you
So
use your
probably
All-In Broadcasting email.
God, if I have one of those.
Scott at allinbroadcasting.com.
Jesus Christ, it'll bounce right to Sean. Like, why is Scott? He hasn't worked here in over a decade. Stupid Sean. Come on, fans.
You know that still exists.
What? All-In Broadcasting? Yeah. Oh.
No, the email address. So here's
yeah,
another fun story about Sean. Sean decided that he wanted to like start text me over the past week.
Okay.
I mean,
what does he want you to record?
No. He was talking about the Caps and he was extremely happy and this, that, and the other thing. At no point did he mention that I even emailed him and asked him if he could change the link that redirects from faceoffhockeyshow.com.
My God.
So now I still have to like get in touch with him to be like, hey, I need you to do this for me.
Guy's a hero. All right, so I found my order.
All right.
So I got the Blu-ray, the Stanley Cup Champions Blu-ray.
Oh, I got one of those too. I forgot about that. Damn it.
I got the 3-pack car magnet set.
You got a 3-piece suit?
That'd be great.
You know what I did almost? I almost bought for you guys, and you can go through your list and let me know if you bought it yourself.
Okay. Stanley Cup Champions logo puck.
Nice.
And the Fanatics Authentic 15x17 framed collage of all the teams that they beat, the team picture, and the finals with the champion. It's pretty classy. It's much better than the they had the one with the game used ice and then like just a line chart of the players. I'm like, no, I like this one where it shows who we beat.
That's cool.
In the games. So that was the biggest splurge of it all. So
That's
that
nice.
was what I bought. And then, like I said, Mama Waz said she'll buy the championships shirt for me. So I'm like, yeah.
I almost got so on NHL.com, NHL shop, there's a Stanley Cup Champions Washington Capitals Upper Deck pack. It's I think it was 28 total cards, 25 player cards, and 3 season like event cards or something in a box that said Stanley Cup Champions and had the Capitals logo and everything on it.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. $1 a card. Don't know if that's.
Yeah. That's kind of what deterred me. But I was like, you know what? I feel like you would appreciate it.
I would very much appreciate it. Oh, you want to talk about Dumbo? I just got an email from Fanatics. I guess if you buy Capital memorabilia, they try to sell you more.
Oh, did you? You got your hat, right?
I'm getting it.
That Fanatics didn't have, and they weren't running a second run of the hats.
Guaranteed by tomorrow, or
nice.
by Friday, from a hat store in Fargo. They just got the. We went down to Fargo Saturday. And I'm like, hey, you got any Caps? Champions gear? And like, we're getting it Tuesday, Wednesday. So I was searching online yesterday. Jen's like, is there any other hockey champ stuff you're buying? I'm like, I don't know. Let me look. And I saw the hat. And I'm like, I know where the store is at. I'm buying this on the eBay store, and I guarantee delivery by Friday. So I'll have that. Which again, Fanatics, terrible deal with the NHL, and this goes beyond the NHL. Even for
I have a yeah, that's what I was going to say. I have a feeling they have a terrible deal with everyone.
Well, with NASCAR too, because the drivers only get 3% of the merchandise sales when they used to get upwards of 40%. And now they only get 3%. And a lot of guys are going independent and selling their own stuff on independent websites. Just
Why wouldn't you?
Paying just the small licensing fee for the NASCAR logo. And then Fanatics is just like, there is a demand, but they don't want to put out the supply. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Your deal is it's bunk. And you're smart getting all the Adidas stuff rather than the Fanatics crap.
Yeah, I'm not buying. The only thing that I may buy that's Fanatics is the like actual on ice stuff, the like t-shirt and the hat.
The draft stuff is Fanatics too.
I saw that, but they do look nice.
They are. I'm not going to lie to you. I tried one on because they were at the sports.
But they're
City
not
hats.
Fitted either now, right?
Yeah,
are they?
They are
good.
Flex Fit.
Thank God.
They look very. The draft hats look very slick. Let me see if I can find them online. But I mean, like.
You know what's fantastic too. Now I'm just thinking through like the past year, which it doesn't occur often, but I distinctly remember Scotty Waz walking through a store in Chicago with a Golden Knights and a Washington Capitals draft hat last summer.
It was the draft. It was the Chicago Blackhawks store. So I bought the Golden Knights draft hat and the Caps draft hat, and I was a winner either way, baby. So here is we'll go to the venerable. I don't want a quick look. Give me the whole thing. Give me the whole thing, baby. So here's the draft hats from Fanatics. Why is it not let me show? All right, so here we go. There's a draft hat right there.
Oh, they have 3 sizes.
Yep, it's small, medium, medium, large, large, extra large. It's nice. It's got like the little fade on the side. It's got the city name on the side of the brim. And little fitted ski right there. So it's got all the colors of the rainbow. They're not terrible. They look pretty slick.
I will say that I'm happy that I got a lot of Adidas stuff before the NHL like just stops making Adidas gear unless it's like authentic ice stuff.
Yeah. So Fanatics, that looks all right. And their hats fit okay too. I mean, unlike like other different ones. But anyway, to the Fanatics stuff, they're trying to sell me more stuff, including a 10 puck. What is this? A 10 puck shadow box, autographed. Ovechkin, Oshie, Kuznetsov, Holtby, Carlson, Backstrom, Wilson, Orlov, Eller, and DSP.
Wow.
$1,029.99.
Yeah, that's fine. Just make it happen.
24 signature Washington Capitals Stanley Cup champion autographed jersey, limited of 100, $2,000.
Wow.
A 2018 Stanley Cup champions autographed 2-foot Stanley Cup with 24 signatures, limited edition of 18, $3,000.
2 foot. Hold
2
on.
foot. It's almost the size. It is essentially the size of the Stanley Cup. It is.
Yeah, the Stanley Cup's what? The Stanley Cup's got to be bigger than 2 feet. Right?
Let's see.
2 feet, I feel, is I mean, that's Hudson's almost 2 feet tall.
Is it? I don't know. Oh, yeah, no. Well, no. 35.25 inches. So just over almost 3 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still not that far off from the Stanley Cup size. Let's be honest.
No, that's not. That's probably the same size as Stanley, David P. Lycomie's child.
Maybe. Yes. 2008 Stanley Cup champion, 16 by 20 photo with 7 signatures, limited 100. Ovechkin, Oshie, Kuznetsov, Holtby, Backstrom, Eller, DSP. $300 for a signed The Save with multiple inscriptions.
I'm going to say that I'm super happy that DSP is getting all this love.
I love DSP. There's times where he made stupid plays in the Tampa series where I hated him, but I love him anyway. Ovechkin with multiple signatures for $750. Ovechkin holding the cup for $250. Ovechkin signed puck $240. Lars Eller game-winning goal, like you said, for $100. Random autographs. It's amazing.
Yeah. $110 on Shop NHL. I have a feeling that like Shop NHL and Fanatics and Dick's and they all have the same stuff. Like their websites are all exactly the same.
Well, yeah, I mean it's just the entire everyone buys from Fanatics. So
I don't know, I buy Adidas.
Right?
Actually, everything that I've bought, I think everything Adidas that I've bought has been manufactured direct. It's come from Adidas.
Right?
And my Adidas stock has gone up recently as well.
That's good. I will say
Throwing
this
that out there.
because I rarely check my Hotmail anymore because I forget I have it. Fanatics their customer service seems to be second to none. As they're like, we have someone came out, the same person who sent me, hey, here's all this cap stuff here. Also gave their direct number to if there's any problems with the orders or if I need to update any orders or stuff like that. So if nothing else, and they can extend a repeat customer discount for some stuff. So that's cool. Collectible wise, I think Fanatics is top notch. Clothing wise,
you can definitely tell the difference between the Fanatics jersey and the Adidas jersey.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And my Stadium Series long sleeve shirt doesn't fit that bad at all. It fits really nice. I just worry about the printing on it because it seems like it's a printing that'll be the direct to garment seems like it'll fade fast. But whatever.
Modell still had the Adidas sweatshirts that I got from the Stadium Series.
Nice. Boy, Modell's on the cheap too, I'm sure.
I don't know. They didn't have so Modell's being Modell's, like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mark down anything until you actually walk up to the like register to like pay for it, and then it's like Christmas.
That's the best.
$55 off a $75 sweater.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. Freaking Modell's. Yeah, my weekend was Thursday night, just loving the night after especially after DSP scored, and then the real Marc-Andre Fleury really coming out in this series.
Please stand up.
Exactly. So that was pretty much all I had to do this week. Is just revel in the Caps win, and then Maryland Black Bear stuff coming out.
Yeah, I saw that.
They have a goalie from Finland who's 6'8".
Oh.
And
16?
I think he might be 18, but still.
Okay. Oh my God. Even that, he's still growing, right?
Yeah, like you don't stop growing until you're 25.
Yeah,
But the Black
that's when I
Bears
stopped growing.
Black Bear is also taking season tickets information.
Oh, nice.
So if you want season tickets. They also released their goalie camp schedule.
Is Mark going?
He might be. I think he's too old though.
Oh.
And they also Black Bears ownership group, which is Black Bear Sports Group, bought half of the Youngstown Phantoms of the USHL, essentially creating a nice pipeline from Team Maryland's U16 AAA midgets to the NAHL to the USHL. So congratulations to them.
That's smart.
Benjamin Beck. I'm sorry, he's from Germany, not from Finland. Benjamin Beck. He's committed to the University of Maine, 6'8", 205, from Landesberg am Lach, Germany. Boy, howdy, that's a tall boy.
Do they have a real draft in the NASL, or is it NASL? That's the indoor soccer league. the NAHL, or do they is it kind of like local, like it's like homegrown talent almost?
It's a little of both. They do have a draft where you can protect players. And like these kids that they sign are released players that weren't like unprotected players they can tender a contract to. So if they play in AAA or if they play U16s, they can still like go, or they play in another league. Like the draft also with that, guys who play in other leagues or committed to college are drafted just to have their signing rights almost. It's a weird, like I was trying to navigate through it because their draft was Tuesday. And I couldn't understand it because the number one pick that they had was a guy who plays in the USHL and is committed to going next year to, I believe, Penn State. So I'm like, well, this is a guy who, once he goes to Penn State, unless he decides to drop out of Penn State, you're not going to get much out of him. It's almost like you threw. Although the NHL, it could be a completely different beast. I might not be understanding it. If anyone knows the NHL draft situation or how players are registered, please, by all means, holla at your boy. But yeah, this whole thing's very weird. But they've got a lot of guys. Don't know if they're going to play or not. And they have a thing called How's a Black Bear, which sounds really...
Yeah, that's a little bit messed up.
Threatening.
Eh.
They have a mock-up of the jersey. I hope it's not the jersey. It looks just like the Blackhawks jersey with the logo. And I'm like, please be better than that. Please be better jersey than that.
What are the odds that Ovi shows up at Piney Orchard with the cup? But it's not even like just a day that he has the cup. It's just like him showing up randomly.
He's just going to take up travel days. Like if they're traveling from one place to another place, he's just going to take up travel days. Speaking of travel days, Mark with the Steve joins us.
What up?
Well, we were talking about all the dumb bullshit we've bought so far. And also,
where's your hat?
It's upstairs.
That's an awful place for it when we have a hockey show with video.
It's fine. Most people listen with podcasts. It's okay.
Sorry.
By the way,
dealing with some other things.
Gotcha. By the way, production meeting on air. We got to figure out a day to do tomorrow. Next week's show. Because Wednesday I've got a thing. During the time we would do a show.
Okay.
So we'll have to brainstorm about that.
Okay.
I'll think about it during the show.
Think about it during the show.
We only got so many options. I can do Saturday or Friday.
Yeah, no, this is a Monday, Tuesday thing.
So you won't be on the show, on the draft show, but Tuesday night we could do a show.
Okay, let's we
can do an hour show on Tuesday night. If we really wanted to, because we're going to do a show on the weekend. It's
true. Yeah, let's do that. Let's plan for that. Let's go hour and a half show next week. Ladies and gentlemen, we're proud to announce an hour and a half show next week. That will divulge into probably 2 hours. I got a flight at 6:30 in the morning Wednesday, so I'm probably gonna stay up most of the night anyway. Just sleep on the plane to Dallas. And then the Stars opening a museum next week. We'll talk all about that during the draft show.
AJ has chimed in, congratulating us on the cup.
Thanks, AJ. Listen, we tried long and hard.
Yeah, we put in a lot of hours.
Mucking and grinding.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've been doing this for how many years? 17 years, and this is our first one. So
17th season, 16 years.
We started technically, in 2018. It's 17 years.
Technically, there's enough spot right here. I can pour something in and drink out of the top of this cup.
It's true. Mark, we're not 17 years until August 8th.
Yeah, but we're in our 17th year.
No, we're in our 17th
17.
season.
17th season.
Right.
16 years, 17th season.
Okay.
24.
Every year we have this conversation.
How many
Sex.
bachelors have there been?
We can't go on that. There's like 3 a year.
You're right. Same with Dancing with the Stars. There's been like 50 of those things.
It's amazing. Like American Idol, we're on our 50th season. This show started 10 years ago. Anyway, we're talking about the dumb bullshit we bought and did after the game.
So I still have Game 5 DVR'd. Not that that's anything about buying anything.
Spoiler alert, they won.
Yeah. We haven't we aren't wallowing in Game 7. Although I did have a dream the other night that I was yelling at the television during Game 6, and then Brittany had to remind me that we won in 5 games. And I didn't know what I was watching. I was really confused.
It was probably
That's actually hilarious.
It was probably like the 96 freaking triple overtime game.
It's PTSD. I don't know what it is, or something like that.
No, it was PTI. It was Uncle Tony talking about the.
Yeah.
I also just remembered that I sent you guys a Vox that said I just recorded the news and added 2 hours to the end of it.
Nice. Good work. I got all the game. I got the game, and then I got all the cup ceremony. But when they switched over to NBC Sports, that's what I didn't get any of that extra.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say the whole NBC having a game that's that is a potential cup clinching game is utter bullshit. And the reason for that is because of what Mark just said, that they showed Obi almost slicing the wire that was on the ice, by the way, and things looking like they were gonna just like go out, and then they're like, Ovi passes the cup to Backstrom, and they're like, all right, to watch the rest of this, check out NBC Sports. Just show the fucking game on NBC Sports.
Yeah.
Like, give me like 4 hours of coverage time.
But that leads into this. So Facebook all week has been telling me to buy things. One of those is NHL.com telling me to buy the Washington Capitals Stanley Cup DVD, Blu-ray DVD.
I bought it. Yeah,
35.
Scotty bought one.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm probably going to get one too, but I'm sure that it has all of the things on it. And by the way, did you get a Conference Champions hat? Because I would assume that they're on sale. They have to be on sale, right? The Conference Champion Washington Capitals hats.
I went to the my hat shop in Fargo, and they were still full price.
That's crazy.
I didn't want to touch one. I didn't want to touch the Conference Championship hat.
Right. See, the Conference Championship hats are dumb, I think. I get why they hand them out to the players, but no fan in their right mind is going to go out and buy one. So one of two things.
Unless that's where they end up.
Well, that's the thing, though. But why would you buy the first runner-up trophy then? That doesn't make sense. I wouldn't have bought a Eastern Conference champion hat if the Capitals lost in the finals. But if the Capitals win in the finals, I'm not going to buy a conference champion hat either. I'm going to buy a Stanley Cup champion hat. I don't understand why they sell them. Well, I mean, I know why they sell them, because they're going to make money. Dummies are going to buy it, but I don't understand.
Oh, I mean, let's be also honest. If we really want to at this point, that's some of the first gear that some people might have.
It's true.
I mean, there were a lot of people that were at the finals outside of Capital One Arena. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that they just started following the Capitals. I actually love the fact that people follow teams when they get to the Stanley Cup finals, not knowing anything about them, but just wanting to be part of the group and part of the joy and part of everything that goes into that. But that might be where they started watching the Capitals. Like, maybe they're like, I'm getting an Eastern Conference Champions hat because this is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like, maybe that's what it is.
So what's funny, you mentioned the bandwagon. I kind of hate that term because it's not like people are jumping on a front runner. I mean, that sort of is what bandwagon insinuates. That
Plus,
what you're doing
what did the band ever do?
Right.
That's true.
The band never... I mean, nobody jumped on a wagon with the band.
But what happens when you have to ford the river? If you break an axle, I mean, especially with that many people on it, you
definitely have to learn how to shoot squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so getting back, so I had at least 10 different friends of mine that I didn't know were hockey fans, probably weren't hockey fans up until this year, like tertiarily watched the Caps during the playoffs, but they were to the point where they loved watching the games, but didn't really quite understand the rules, but still knew that DSP was doing extremely well. What better than most of the other players on the team.
That's good.
Even to the untrained eye, he was a standout player.
Exactly. He's going to get paid. We're going to talk to Robertson here in a little bit about how much these guys going to get paid. Little injury report, if we may, because then we got to get to the Patreon pick. We kind of talked about the parades a little bit.
I have no music.
That's fine. Listen,
We can just keep going.
here's all it comes down to. Brooks Orpik had to have his pinky reattached after a slash. It literally fell off in the trainer's hand.
Wow. Well, that goes to show you, pinkies are worthless.
Right, exactly.
Because you score game-winning goals. Apparently.
And in your culture, that's a threat.
Yeah.
And then Nick Backstrom played with multiple fractured fingers. So there we go. There's your Caps injury report. I'm sure there was others, but Washington Post stupidly just shut it and really keeping hard to that 10 article limit a month, or else buy our stuff.
Yeah. But you know, Scott,
I did learn. I learned a way around that.
Yeah, you just open an incognito window in Chrome, man. It's not just for Pornhub.
What? First off, that's always
I use it for PornTube as well.
I keep the porno on the straightaway if I have to get it again.
Yeah.
So
that's a ballsy move. So it's in your history.
It's fine. I'm not looking at that stuff.
Anyway,
that stuff I go somewhere else.
So what browser do you use, Scotty?
That stuff I go to the library to look at. I'm a Chrome guy.
So yeah, open an incognito.
No, I always figure that, like, if I die, the first thing that somebody's going to figure out how to get onto is my laptop. Yeah. And when they find out that I've just been looking at porn for 6 months straight, like, you might have a different view of me.
Well, no, I think they're going to be like, no, this makes sense. Makes sense. Always tired, doesn't hang out, lives by himself, towels everywhere. I get it.
Eddie is on the live chat as well. He loves Smith Pelly. Says he's a great all-around player, scores, checks, fights.
Smith Pelly is a young version of Joe Ward, not just because the skin tone. Not just because the skin tone. I think he's a super energy guy. The problem I have with him is the same problem I had with Tom Wilson. These guys are energy guys. They're skilled guys. Go over that edge a little bit too much in situations.
Wasn't Smith Pelly was a first-round pick, wasn't he?
I might have been. I don't know.
I did. So going back, like, while we're checking this out real quick, there was a great article about how Smith Pelly talked to Brett Conley before the season.
Oh yeah.
And it was and he was the reason that Devontae came to the Capitals, because Brett Conley told him that the Capitals would give him a fair shake and give him a contract if he earned his spot on the team. And that's what Smith Pelly was looking for, and came and earned a spot on the team, and ends up scoring I think he scored in the last 3 games of the Stanley Cup final.
I think so too.
3, 4, and 5.
Oh.
So 42nd overall, just outside the first round.
With Anaheim. This is the first year he's played over 53 games or 54 games in the NHL. Had as many goals in the playoffs as he did in the regular season.
That's actually what Joel Ward did as well.
Yeah. Also, I think he might have won the Cy Young in the playoffs with 7 goals and an assist.
Nice.
So
it's a good season.
I kept saying, even at the time, I said it the entire time, this Marcus Johansson trade, best thing that ever happened. Best thing that ever happened. Marcus Johansson.
Look at you. Also, I mean, with that whole deal, I mean, you look at the Caps, like Verana, we knew Verana was going to be primed. He kept hitting post and then scores that beautiful first goal in the game 5. And then just gets drunk out.
That was such a good shot. I didn't even know it was in.
I know. I thought it hit the post and backed out.
I did too.
I saw the net ripple because I have a 4K TV.
Nice. Ooh, fancy.
Ooh.
Fancy, man.
Dust the shoulder.
Yeah, but you were changing diapers at the time, so suck it.
No, I wasn't because I DVR'd the first period and I caught
There
up.
it is.
So I didn't.
There it is.
I didn't get to watch the first goal in real time. I watched it like a half hour after everybody else did. So
First-
you suck it.
There you go. He got you. Yeah, this whole team, like we'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk a little more about this with Lyle because I want to talk about the new core, who I think it's Vrana juice if he puts on like 40 more pounds of muscle.
I thought it was
And,
great that they were just messing with him. That he's a 165 defenseman that couldn't win the cup.
And Barry Trotz is chirping him after he won the cup. And he's like, "Hey, I thought we didn't know he was going to lift it." So the Patreon pick
the
this
5'4" guy.
Yeah, I know, right? It says the 5'4" guy with no neck. Any hoozles. Patreon pick, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, there's a live Q&A for Patreon just for the new services. I don't know what it's about. I don't really care. Patreon, you could be like Brian and Sean and Angela and Damon and Mark and Tristan and Matthew and Ethan and Chris and Mitch. Go to patreon.com/faceoffhockeyshow and donate to us. We let you pick a topic every week of the two choices we have. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, folks. We were talking about the favorite Caps memory, either past, present, or possibly future. You can't look into the future, so I'm assuming it's just past and present. It'd be great if you could look into the future and they go back to back.
Back to back. Back to back.
Here's my thing: if they go back to back, do they do this whole thing again, or they just like, we've been
Yes.
That'd be
Are
great.
you serious?
If they go back to back, the party sequel is like Weekend at Bernie's 2.
This ends up like Hangover 2. They end up in like Tokyo with the cup somehow within like the first 2 days after.
If Phil Pritchard like wakes up, he's like, "What's this shit?"
There's a tiger in the
Yeah,
room.
Lars Eller's in the bathroom. I was going to beat you to that joke.
Veronica's got a face tattoo.
Yeah, I think he's going there anyway. I think he's already on that truck. Although I love his reaction when getting the tattoo, saying just shoot a puck at me, shoot a peck up my ass because this fucking hurts. I don't know why. Like he was really drunk.
His Instagram videos were fantastic.
Smith Pelly's was as good because he's just making sure people knew that Verona was still alive.
So I don't. This is going to have to be another question for Lyle. But is this par for the course as far as Stanley Cup celebrations go? Because this is all we're getting is local coverage, and we're getting saturated by it here. It's just all of it all at once, or is this a product of social media, or is this seriously the most ridiculous party that has ever happened since Mark Messier?
That's a good question.
So
Very
we'll
good
ask
question.
Lyle that.
We
Because
will.
I can't. I'm too in the middle of this, and as I said last week, I sort of every time the Caps lose, I sort of take a break, and by the time I come back, Stanley Cup's over most of the time.
So
So
the favorite Caps moment, I guess, present we would have to say is now. Would that be
yeah,
favorite Caps moment?
yeah. Besides,
I mean,
I
I'm
think
gonna
besides now.
I'm gonna say Thursday night.
Thursday
Thursday night, I was way drunker than I needed to be.
Yeah, seemed like that.
But short of running naked around my neighborhood, I'm pretty certain I did most anything else on Thursday night.
That's good.
So, yeah,
Did you use an incognito browser?
yes, on my phone. It's the only reason I got a bigger screen.
More surface area.
Sometimes I gotta go iPad just for shits and giggles.
Sometimes, sometimes you got to race.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's waterproof.
Yeah, exactly. Get that extra add-on on there. Past moments. Boy, I don't know.
So I'll take this while you
Please,
think, Scotty.
please.
So notwithstanding this, obviously, because this was amazing, I don't think we need to rehash that we're Caps fans and this is the pinnacle of being a Caps fan. Besides this, the Game 7 Sergei Fedorov goal against the Rangers in 2009, whenever that was, is probably still one of my favorite Caps memories, and that is only that is right behind or right ahead of, I should say, the 2007. The end to the 2007 season, I believe it was, when the Caps were playing the Panthers, or it might have been the Hurricanes.
2007-8 series.
Yeah. So It was the very last game of the season. They needed to win it to get into the playoffs. It was a Saturday night, and obviously they won. They got it. That was the year that they played the Flyers in the first round. The first time that Ovechkin.
Well, that was when you had tickets, right?
Well, Brandon and I bought season tickets for the following season in order to get playoff season tickets for that season. That was the first year. The reason why we bought season tickets was because they won that game.
That's the greatest gimmick any marketing professional's ever done. To get playoff tickets, buy next year's season tickets.
I think they've relaxed that a little bit. I think you can buy like a 10-game plan or something now and still have access to playoff tickets. But
sure,
I
think so too.
But back then, season tickets for the Caps back then were like $700 for our seats, and they're 5 seats up from behind the goal where the Caps shoot twice. So they were kind of a steal at the time. I mean, for a college kid, kid out of college for 2 years, maybe $700 a year didn't seem like it was cheap at the time, but they're easily double that now. They're over double that, I would say now. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's
I'm gonna parlay.
Those are my two memories: the Fedorov goal and them winning that last game to make the playoffs in the first time in the Ovechkin era.
I feel like I'm gonna parlay on that because when the Caps made it to that when Fedorov scored that goal, Laura, Eric, and I were actually in Pennsylvania. I think it was the Ashburn rinks, the rinks that are right there, like near
Ashburn
Victory.
is near me.
Yeah, that's Virginia.
Like Downingtown, maybe. I don't know.
It's right off 208
Victory,
I think. Yeah, it's near Victory. The rinks that are there.
Drinking glass, by the way, all throughout the playoffs.
Nice, good work.
But we were there for the women's national tournament because Little Caesars was playing, and that was when the girl that Laura knew was playing in the national tournament. So we drove back and forth, and we stopped at an Applebee's the night before, Friday night after games, to eat, and the Carolina Hurricanes game was on TV. And I remember walking over to the screen and looking up, and Carolina was losing like 3-2, and they lost that game. And I just kind of did like a little like fist pump and like walked back to the table. And Laura looks at me and goes, "What happened?" And I go, "The Caps can make the playoffs tomorrow night." And then we were in a car listening to it on the radio when Fedorov scored that goal.
Nice.
So I will say, and I know I've said it in the past and I'll continue to say it, listening to sports on the radio, a sport like hockey, is so much more intense than it is watching it on TV.
It is.
So I got that. And then, I mean, for me, big Capitals moment is getting the goalie stick that Mark and I had when we were kids from Mike Liut.
That we inexplicably used.
Yeah, we taped it up.
Yeah, we put fiberglass tape on it and took it out for.
We had to tape it back together. It was in 2 pieces when he handed it to me.
It was a flat blade, by the way. Liut used it
completely flat.
Yeah. Well,
but being able to go to being able to go to Piney Orchard to watch the Caps practice was cool when we were kids.
Yeah, that was cool. I remember doing that on off days too. That was pretty fun. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing video of Alex Ovechkin after the Cap celebration having a final slow dance before giving it back to.
Is that on Instagram?
No.
Is he dancing to "We Are the Champions"? Because I'm pretty certain that the Caps have to pay royalties to Queen at some point.
I don't know. It's some EDM stuff, and he's slow dancing. I think his wife was the one who. Shocking. She's been the all-star of all this. She's showing all his dumb moments.
I agree.
So good for her.
So I think the funniest, there's been a ton of videos, right? Everybody's seen videos of the party, the aftermath. I think the most fun video that I've seen the entire time in the aftermath is just the one of Ovi grilling in his backyard, singing "We Are the Champions" by himself with the Stanley Cup next to him, using a charcoal grill.
Doesn't it seem like, and I know this couldn't possibly be the case, but it seems like after the game, somebody went up to Ovechkin and was like, dude, you got to hear this song.
Look at him. Look at him. He's loving it. He's just dancing with it.
That's amazing. TSN official. See, isn't it great? All of the official media outlets, ESPN picked up him, DSP's Instagram story of him drinking before the parade. It was on ESPN's official.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it almost seems like he hadn't heard the song before, and he's like, holy crap, this is perfect for this situation. Let's just play it over and over again.
Hold on.
And they're like, Alex, okay, whatever. Let's go with it.
Here's what's happening. It's a brand deal with Ovechkin to promote the new Freddie Mercury movie.
Oh, it's got to be. Perfect. Perfect.
And he's just getting money to keep singing the song to promote I don't know who the hell was it. It's Remy
Malek.
Yeah, Remy Malek as
Which
Freddie
is
Mercury.
weird because at the end there's like credit shots of Alex Ovechkin holding the cup in the background.
It's just some crazy Russian singing in his barbecue, showing the legacy of Freddie Mercury. Oh, that's great. Oh, I cracked the code, guys. I did it. Oh God. Jesus. Anyway, what was my favorite moment?
Hey, what was your favorite?
Probably not even hockey related. It probably is. I'm trying to think. Oh, my favorite
You had
moment.
a lot more hockey growing up than Mark and I did. Like, we just watched hockey really.
Yeah,
growing up.
Big Stan made signs near the Capitol Center, and Abe Poland was very free with his Capitol tickets, and that's why we got free Capitol tickets. Making the hour drive to and from Landover. Jesus Christ, that's a long drive. Before they built it up and the neighborhood went to shit. I have to say, the favorite cast moment has to be when we were doing media there, 2003, during the dark years.
That was fun. When we had press credentials. At that time, we literally walked into the entrance around the corner from Green Turtle and walked up to a table where they had a list of names. I mean, maybe it's still this way. I don't know. But we told them who we were, and they were like, yeah, okay, come on in. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't even think we were on the list. We just told them what we did and why we were there, and they were like, all right, go ahead.
I have a handwritten press credential still.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They didn't even have anything printed out for us. They were just like, okay, here you go.
Here you go. Or like when we send a fax hours before we drive to Toronto to get into the 2002 NHL draft. There you go.
Yeah, but Sean knew how to use a fax machine.
True.
so he can't be the GM of the Panthers or Blackhawks.
Mm-hmm. So were you watching the parade live, by the way? Let's go back to this just one more second with Ovechkin.
I was not.
I did not. Do
you have it DVR'd or anything?
Yeah.
I just watched it through Twitter.
So I'm going to give an early diss to Fios for changing their schedule midday, which completely knocked out everything that I recorded. So I had to try to record it later in the night when they replayed it.
So by then, I'm sure they were able to.
Yeah, they already bleeped out a lot of stuff.
So NBC local, NBC affiliate, whatever they are, WUSA, I think that's CBS, whatever, doesn't matter. They did not have a delay. They somehow saw everything that happened over the weekend. They saw Ovechkin swimming in the fountain in Georgetown. They saw all the ridiculousness that went on, and they decided, these guys aren't going to do anything crazy on live TV, right? So Kuznetsov ends his speech with, "Let's fuck this shit," and then Ovechkin turns off the music. He is like,
that was awesome.
I'm not a big fan of Mumford & Sons. Can you shut this off, please? Because I need to yell, "We are not fucking stuck this year," to 300,000 people. Probably.
If there aren't already millions of T-shirts that have been made with that says on the front of it, I'm surprised somebody's missing out.
Well, that's funny.
Yeah, Russian Machine Never Breaks started the year with a shirt that said, "We are not going to be sucked this year." And there are pictures of Ovechkin wearing that shirt. Actually, Russian Machine Never Break, if anyone is a tertiary winner out of all of this, they've been getting a lot of publicity.
They have. They've been popping up on Google as a Google News outlet for you. If you go to the tab that says Google News, a lot of stuff. By the way, 800,000 people on the metro for the parade and celebration through the. This is what they're saying.
Well, I don't know about that. That seems a little high based on the overhead.
Well,
Metro ridership
that's
today was 840,145.
Well,
that was rides, right?
To work, right?
Yeah, but still, I don't think you're going to have 500,000 people taking. Well, they might. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I think in order to get an accurate count, they need to take the average amount of Metro riders on an average Tuesday, subtract that out, and then you get the amount of people that were there for the parade, and then add extra 50.
But then also take the 20% off that were like, fuck this shit, I'm not going to work today, and add the people that drove.
True.
And
also,
it's probably not that far off.
If you have 6 spare hours, you can go on YouTube. The Washington Post has their 55 minutes, 47-second coverage of the parade.
Wow.
So if you want to get up all, that's really, they did a YouTube live thing, and then next thing you know, here we are. So yeah, my favorite moment, the going to the Matt Yates era of the Washington Capitals games. Also, the Gary Bettman State of the Union address that I went to when I came back into town for somebody's wedding. That I think Mark, you, me, Kim with a Y, Johnny went to. It was great. It's a good time.
Oh yeah. When he was doing the town hall before the game,
and they played the Canucks, and they only got 10 shots on Brent Johnson.
Yeah,
and he let one of them in. Like, Jesus, Brent. Anyway. Joined now by boozy Lyle Richardson. Lyle, have you sobered up from just the after effect of the Washington Capitals parade and celebration and stuff?
You are the champions, my friend.
Now that Lyle's here, I can pour out.
There you go.
How did you get 2 of them?
Keep on fighting.
Well, there are 2. One needs to stay in the Hockey Hall of Fame at all times. So.
As I learned this week on the Soderstrom bubble, there's 3 Stanley Cups.
Yes,
3.
Actually, see, you got your 1.
Mm-hmm.
Can you get 2?
That's the question we have to ask you, Lyle.
Ooh.
So before we break in, I have to pour some face-off hockey scotch for the win.
There you go.
After every round, I've had some face-off hockey scotch, and now that everyone's on the show, I'd also like to announce that this is our last show.
We've done it, guys. We've
so
all the way through.
Let's fuck this shit.
Exactly.
Just letting you guys know. Sorry, it's over.
Next week we will just be dead air. That production meeting we talked about, bullshit, not happening.
By the way, now I have to ask. I do have to ask. Now, I was seeing lots of posts from some of you folks and some of my other Capitals friends.
You folks.
Some of my Capitals friends who were saying that they were shedding tears, that they were crying. Now I need to know, was these just metaphorical tears of joy, or was this like the real thing? Like, was there actual tear ducts?
Lyle, if there's a way for me to give you audio, I can let you hear.
Yeah, Lyle, these were for me.
One video, John was doing.
That was really weird. He was naked, but no.
Lyle, if you want to hold on after the show, I'll play some of the video, or some of the audio that I sent to Mark and Scotty.
This was
right at the win.
But yeah, this was for me literal tears. Like this was so, like even before when they won game 4. With the chance of winning, I was tearing up. Like, it's just like, this is happening. The hell is this?
I'm gonna say,
I don't get it.
I definitely cried when the Caps beat the Lightning in Game 7, because I was like, "Holy shit! I can't believe that just occurred." And Game 4, the game that I was at, I had to sit in the stands for nearly 20 minutes before I wanted to leave, because I was like, "I don't know if I want to leave. I just want to sit here."
Yeah. I told you guys, it's an incredible feeling, isn't it? It's if you've never experienced it before, it's
better than sex.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Well, let's not get too crazy.
It's been a while. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while.
When people say, it's like riding a bike, I'm like, what the hell kind of sex are you having? But anyway,
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
yeah, exactly. It's like, wait a minute, I take it back. Jesus Christ. It involves bicycles and circus bears. You don't want to know. Okay. But it is an amazing feeling. If you have never see, this is the thing. I don't have anything really to compare to what you guys experienced. Because I saw my favorite team win when I was very young. The first time I saw them,
but they won
their first cup. I was 8 years old. I didn't really have. I had nothing to compare it to. I had nothing to compare it to.
Wow, Mark.
Yeah. Pretty nasty. But I had nothing to compare that. I had nothing to compare it to. It was nothing. I was like, oh yay, my favorite team won. Now I'm gonna go play with G.I. Joe. But I've had not. But if you, oh yeah, but if you have cheered for a team for as long as you guys have, that I mean, you guys were all kids. I'm assuming you guys were all kids when you started cheering, like actually cheering full on for the Washington.
February 1989.
Mm-hmm.
Mark might have been like 4 or 5 at the time, if I remember correctly.
Whatever John did, I did on a 5-year delay.
And you go this long,
FCC friendly.
But you go that long, and when you go through what you guys went through as Capitals fans, because again, I mean, we talked about it last week. I mean, I had no real concept of how deep that pain was until I started to appear on this show regularly and all of that.
Yeah, you witnessed every collapse.
So
when I was say it this way, I actually wrote a tweet. It was in my drafts. I deleted it since. It was after the Game 4 win. I had a tweet that said, I don't even care that the Capitals lost the series. This was amazing. What a great run. I'm glad that I got to a Stanley Cup final. And I saved it in my drafts in Twitter just in case.
I still have a eulogy that I wrote for the Caps at Game 6 of the Tampa series.
And when I was watching Game 5 and watching the whole thing counting down, I mean, not trying to sound sappy here or nothing, but my only thoughts are with you guys. And again, with our other mutual friends who are also Capitals fans I've gotten to know over the years, because I knew just how special this was going to be. I mean, it's, as I said, I've experienced it 8 times. I'm not bragging on it. I'm just saying I experienced it 8 times. I'll tell you, the last 2 times that my team won the Stanley Cup, they were complete surprises. Nobody was expecting them to win. When they won all those cups in the 70s, we expect them to win. Especially in the late 70s, they were so dominant. It was just like, oh yeah, they're gonna win. But in 86 and in 93, nobody was expecting them to win. And I just remember watching both of those at that time. And I was 23 in 86 when they won it, and I was 30 when they won the last one. And just that feeling that it was a different feeling. It was just this unbelievable elation that they had pulled this off when, because in 86 that was during the Gretzky era. In 93, that was in the middle of the, when the Penguins were dominant. And of course you had like Detroit and Chicago, and those teams were coming up at that time. And it was just, it was hard to describe. It was indescribable why I was just felt so happy and so excited. And that's why I was saying, I knew you guys were going to feel that it was just a wonderful, indescribable feeling of joy that, oh my God, they've done it. They pulled this off. They've done it.
They now have 2 years before I motherfuck them again. I'm giving them a 2-year window.
Give them a 2-year window
before I motherfuck them again.
Well, go ahead, Scotty.
I was just going to say,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mark.
I was going to do so. I was going to ask the question I asked before we got to actual hockey content. I was going to give the one question that I had about the emotion. Is this celebration, the Caps, the Ovechkin celebration, and all of his teammates, is this a product of it being the most ridiculous celebration of all time, or perhaps a product of there being so much social media around now, or perhaps a product that I'm just saturated in local media coverage, so it feels like it's more epic than it is? Is this a normal Stanley Cup celebration? You've been outside, you've been looking at this as an outside observer. You've looked at many Stanley Cup champion celebrations as an outside observer. Is this another level up, or is this par for the course?
Oh no, this is off the hook. Okay, like this, as the kids would say, this is, because they're for the Capitals and for their fans. I mean, as I said, you guys have been through so much, you know, and especially for the players. My God, I mean, you think of, I mean, it wasn't that long ago we were asking that question, you know. I mean, Ovechkin was having to face that question. I wrote a piece about it at the start of the playoffs. You know, could Ovechkin possibly become the greatest player never to win the Stanley Cup? And comparing him to like other greats who had long Hall of Fame careers and never got there. You know, he had to wear that burden for all of these years. His teammates had to wear that burden for all these years, especially guys like Nick Backstrom and Braden Holtby and you know, John Carlson and on, all the guys who've been there the longest. They had to wear this all the time. And for you guys as fans, because, you know, you just were so used to having your hearts broken by these guys. You were, I mean, you loved them. They were your team. You weren't going to quit on them, but it just seemed that every year they set you up to break your heart. You know, and let's face it, be honest, you guys deep in the pit of your stomachs when you were going into Game 5, when the Golden Knights made it 3-2.
Oh yeah, no,
Lyle,
we were all contemplating suicide at that point.
At that point, it's here we fucking go.
I was in one conversation with my old hockey buddies, and we're just like, listen. Retooling intermission is the happiest thought I have right now because I'm already thinking we're losing in 7.
To my credit, I have a message on my phone, timestamped, that says whoever scores the next goal is going to win this game. Because if the Knights went up 4-2, that would have been it.
That was done. Yep.
But if the Caps tied the game, they were going to have enough momentum to get a fourth.
Smith Pelly, what a goal! What an effort! I mean, you know,
what a raise!
And that segues right in, Scott.
Lyle, let's get to brass tacks.
Sure.
Who's getting really paid? Can they keep? Carlson came out today, said he would love to stay, but there's more to that. Obviously, DSP due for a big raise. He's a restricted free agent with arbitration. Tom Wilson due a big raise. He's a restricted free agent with arbitration. Jay Beagle, unrestricted, due a big raise or a decent sized raise. Michael Kempney said he would love to stay. He's unrestricted free agent. Philip Grubauer apparently already being shopped, so we know he gone.
Yep.
Where are we at?
Already gone.
Yeah, that's true. Where are we at right now? Who comes back to maybe make a push for back-to-back?
Well, I do believe they'll get Carlson re-signed, but don't expect a hometown discount. That's not coming. You look at what Oliver Ekman-Larsson and the Arizona Coyotes have agreed to with their deal in principle. It won't be official until July 1st. 8 years, $8.25 million a season.
Oof.
That's the ballpark. That's what you're looking at for Carlson. Sorry. And if
I could swallow that. I can swallow that.
Won't pay it, somebody else happily will. Hello, Toronto.
Yeah.
Hello there, Leafs. Yeah, I see you. I see you waiting. Waiting. Step the foot back now.
I will give that to him. The only issue I have right now with the money they spend, you got to look at next year too.
Oh yeah,
and this is a big one. Burakovsky, Vrana, Stevenson, Brett Conley. Though I think Brett Conley is going to be Brett Conley. How has he been in the league so short but looks so grizzled?
Yeah. Have you traveled the roads he has traveled, my friend?
Oh boy, former 10th overall pick.
Fantastic beard
bouncing around too.
But here's the thing, and he shaved it off, and he looked like a small child.
Yes, but here's the thing, though. Are all their core players locked up? Assuming you've got Carlson re-signed, are all their core players locked up?
Then that brings this question: who's the core now? Who's the second core?
Well, here, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up with our friends.
If I may, Lyle, if I may throw this out here,
you're the host.
The new core: Oshie Kuznetsov at the top. Eller,
Ovi, obviously.
Ovi, but we're getting to the point where it's Ovi's almost Twilight years.
We're passing Ovi and Backstrom, I feel.
He is still your core player.
I think so, but I'm thinking beyond him.
Well,
the second way, Lyle. I'm thinking. LOD 2000. Is what I'm thinking. The new Four Horsemen. I think Kuznetsov has to be in there. Oshie, Eller, Burakovsky has to be in there because he seems to play almost a Bent Gustafson style. I don't know how much he'll get paid.
yeah, I got news for you. He might not even be with the team.
Wow.
Well, let me put it this way, okay? Let's jump ahead. Let's jump right now to what we're talking about here, which is what your payroll is going to be looking at for next season. Right now, payroll 63.7 mil committed to 16 players. Let's just keep a nice round number. Let's say 8 mil
80.
flat
Yeah.
for Carlson. Now you're up to 71.7 mil. Now you could say, well, that's not a big deal. Oh, the cap's going to 80 million. Yeah, but now you've only got you got less than 9 mil, and you got to resign Smith Pelly, you got to resign Beagle, you got to sign Wilson, and you'd be looking at wanting to keep Kempney, correct?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden it gets real tight trying to keep those guys.
So
Because Tom Wilson is coming off 2 mil per season. Now, maybe you can convince him to take 3.5 mil a season. I doubt it. You know why? How much is Andrew Shaw making with Montreal?
Mm-hmm.
There's your comparable. In fact, he could probably make more with that. So there goes a big chunk. There goes almost half of your less than 9 mil remaining. Now, Smith Pelly, I mean, he signed a very cheap deal. It was 1 year, basically. That's what he got for being a walk-on training camp, really.
Yeah.
So his was 650,000. He was making 1.3 mil on his best deal. Let's assume that he wants 1.5 mil a season to stay. Let's just assume. We'll keep that nice there. Jay Beagle, let's say he'll take the same amount of money to stay on, say, a 2-year deal, because he's 32, going to be 33 in the fall. So you could probably get away with saying 1.75 mil in a 2-year deal. Maybe he takes that stay a couple more years. Okay. Kempney, let's take a boo. Kempney,
800.
900,000 is what he's making. Push that up towards, I'd say, 2.5 mil.
What?
No.
Look,
Mark, he's a top 4 guy, Mark. He is a top 4 guy.
Exactly.
Still young too, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. He's
Like
27.
he's like 28, right?
27, going to be 28. Now, figure, you might be able to convince him to take 3 years, 4 years toss. But yeah, you're looking at 2.5 mil if you're lucky.
Is this equating a Brooks Orpik buyout?
It could. It very well a buyout or trade, because remember, Brooks Orpik lacks.
How do we find somebody to trade to now?
Well, this is the highest Brooks Orpik's equity. has
This
been.
really.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This is the high as high as it has been since 2009.
Well, no,
he
it's as
scored a
high
goal?
it's as high as it's
Game-winning
been
goal.
since the Capitals signed him back in 2014, my friends. Okay, because he was back in 2014. He was among the top free agents that summer.
And someone brought up to me that there's probably a lot of kind of rebuilding teams, retooling teams that would love someone like Brooks Orpik to teach their young defensemen.
Guys,
Also coming off a Stanley Cup then as well, or at least one.
No.
One year
Well, he had
removed. 1 year removed.
9 with the Pens, yeah, but it was like about 4 or 5 years after the fact when he hit the free agent market. But you take a look at, like you said, you want to talk about rebuilding teams and things like that. Well, take a look Carolina. Though with the depth of defense they have, I really don't think they'd go for him. Maybe Arizona. Maybe I said maybe Colorado. I think
Vegas?
I think Colorado, but no. Vegas with their cap space, GM has bigger fish to fry, my friend.
True.
And I will tell you right now, if John Carlson hits the open market,
he's number 1.
McPhee is going after him big time, and it would not surprise me if he got him, because they know each other going back. I mean, McPhee was the guy who drafted him. He came up through the system. McPhee was the GM. Yeah, I would say Vegas, baby, would definitely be near the top of his list. But yeah, maybe Colorado could bring him in for leadership for a year. Toronto, maybe, though I think Toronto would look for a more higher end, higher caliber guy. Maybe the New Jersey Devils.
The Capitals have fleeced the Montreal Canadiens for many a year.
No, he's not.
What with Lars Eller and Devontae Smith.
Oh well, that was
Though Smith Pelly was the mojo deal.
To be fair, Smith Pelly was passed over by more just Montreal, by the way.
Shit.
But there's a few teams that, a few rebuilding clubs there that could probably, or teams that are, have finally got their toe into the playoffs this year. Like I said, like Colorado and New Jersey, maybe they might be willing to take a look at them if they can get themselves a nice fat draft pick package with it. That's the only thing. Barring that, then you're going to have to buy them out. Okay, and that's $3 million savings.
This is the reason that I spent $1,000 in championship gear. I think.
Shit, right?
Now you talked about Burakovsky. I know the guy's only 22,
23.
They were expecting big things from him this season.
Yeah.
Injuries hampered him, but there was inconsistency. And by his own admission, like mentally, he was having he was really letting things get to him.
Well, he was brought up way too fast because everyone thought that he played with McDavid. He had great numbers in junior. He's going to be fantastic. And it just killed him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. Now, we have seen that when he's on his game, he can be a very solid player. I mean, hey, it was thanks to him that, Game 7 Tampa Bay, that's probably the greatest game he's had in his career thus far. But there's some talk of, now I'm not saying this is going to happen. This is just media speculation at this point, but it's out there that, hey, maybe you move Burakovsky in his $3 million contract. I mean, he's 23, he's young. Maybe a fresh start somewhere else. Maybe that might.
If you're going to sign like guys like Verana for a long term next year, or
if that's what you're looking at, and if you want to try and keep as much of the band together this year as you can, because I got to tell you, I will be shocked if they don't re-sign Karlsson. You have to re-sign him. He's your best defenseman. You can't afford to lose him because there's nobody in the free agent market comparable to replace him. Good luck in the trade market. Okay. Oh, Erik Karlsson will be in the trade market. Yeah, good luck with him in that $12 million contract. Plus, no one half the goddamn team. So no. So you've got to re-sign him. You have no choice, and it's going to run you $8 million to do it.
Yeah.
So,
which I think
order of priority. Karlsson, I think number one. I think Wilson number two. Wilson has proven that he can. If you have an established top line, he's proven his. I mean, maybe not his 20th overall or whatever he was, but definitely first round caliber talent. He can do everything.
The role that he plays, especially as a physical intimidator, he doesn't need to drop the gloves. He's not an enforcer in that sense, but he's I guess you would call him sort of like the modern day version of an enforcer now, which just with the physical presence. He kind of keeps opponents honest.
I was gonna comp him to Shanahan back in his heyday. But
yeah, that's a
poor man Shanahan. I would go with that.
That works good.
Yeah.
So Karlsson 1, Wilson 2.
Yep.
Smith, Pelly, Beagle 3. And everyone else.
Well, actually, I would put Kempny up there because the Caps are
well.
Used to be one of their strengths is defensive depth. Is now a weakness.
Yeah, you need to keep him, I think, and that's why I'm saying you could see. Look, the Capitals could survive trading Burakovsky.
Yeah,
they can.
They got a ton of kids in the
exactly. So you've got other kids that are knocking on the door, like you said. Jacob Frana's improved.
Axel Jonas Flalaby.
So
he's a defenseman though, right?
No, he's a left wing.
Oh, he's a wing.
So I mean, you guys, you can survive that. You guys can survive buying out Brooks Orpik. I mean, Orpik had a hell of a playoff, but let's be honest. There were times throughout the series where I even saw you guys I even saw Scotty on Twitter say, okay, at some point you've got to bench this guy.
Please,
you got to bench this guy for a period or sit him out for a
Juice
game.
together gave me conniption fits.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah, and that's not Juice's fault. I mean,
no,
he's young. He's still trying.
He's 167. I kept confusing him for Burakovsky. It was a bizarre situation there, but they got a lot of kids coming up through the ranks.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we got to still. Yoga Singenhaller is still a guy who is out there that they're still trying to do their stuff.
I was thinking of Lucas Johansson.
Johansson, yeah. No, but he's coming up too, yeah.
But see, this is the thing. You can survive trading away Burakovsky. You can survive trading or buying out Brooks Orpik. If you did both of those, now you got $6 million freed up. Now you can easily afford Karlsson. Now you can re-sign most of those other guys if you wish and still give yourself some wiggle room, Like I said, you could probably survive, all of the other guys except for Wilson not being able to pay them or whatever, but you cannot survive the departure of Karlsson. That blows a giant hole in your blue line, and you have forget about trying for a repeat without him next year.
Orlov is too much of a liability to run the power.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I will be stunned if they let Karlsson go to market.
So Karlsson free agent? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Karlsson,
here's the look on my face on July 1st.
Yeah. All right, little haha fuck you before Mark. You gotta go at.
I'm good.
You good for the rest?
Sleep. We've the sleep training.
Congrats.
Trust
Yes.
Sleep training.
We were able to put him down.
I wasn't even part of this.
I was going to say, why isn't Johnny the coach?
You could have saved yourself a lot of time. I told you, Mike, could have saved yourself a lot of bother if you just employed Uncle Lyle's Teeth and Whiskey.
Well, then
we should have went straight to the Mitch Corn of sleeping.
Yeah, I'm like a baby whisperer when it comes to sleeping.
Of course, some of the Caps want to go to the White House. Devontae Smith-Pelly said he'll still love them if they go. Big trade. Peter Budaj back with the LA Kings. Congratulations to him.
Oh,
there you go. Floodgates have opened.
Lyle, let's get to this.
Sure.
Koval fuck 20.
No. This is much worse. Erik Karlsson.
Oh my.
And Mike Hall. This. Holy fucking shit!
Wow. Yeah.
Like, if you haven't heard,
speaking of a team falling apart.
Oh boy, howdy! So Erik Karlsson's wife, Melinda Karlsson, applied for a peace bond against Monica Karjik, which is the longtime girlfriend of Mike Hoffman, over alleged
the equivalent of a restraining order.
Yes, it is.
Even in Canada, they make things sound much better than they are.
Yeah, I know.
Everything.
You're very polite,
according to the peace bond, word is bond, Karjik had been threatening the Karlssons since November 2017, including wishing death upon their unborn baby, who then turned out to be stillborn later. Karjik has uttered numerous statements wishing unborn child dead. Also said she wished I was dead and someone should take out my husband's legs to end out his career. Monica Karjik has posted over 1,000 negative and derogatory statements about me as a professional. Hoffman and Karjik deny it, but the agent, the denial saying that, Hoffman's like 150% chance my fiance and I are involved. Then Hoffman's agent came out and said, listen, everyone in the team has known about it for a while. We can't go on like this. You should probably trade us. And then all the senators' wives coming out and supporting Melinda Karlsson. Seems that this woman's a little bit of a Yoko Ono.
Oh, that's not fair to Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono never did something like this. That's a bad analogy, Scotty.
There was no Twitter at the time.
There was no Twitter. We don't know. Here's the real question. Does Erik Karlsson want to re-sign with a team that knew about this and didn't do anything about it? And how many pucks can you get for Mike Hoffman now? Because his stock could never be lower.
Right.
Well, this certainly sheds a lot of light. First of all, on why the Hoffman rumors started when they did, which is interestingly roughly around the same time that we started hearing about this.
Also, if you're Mike Hoffman, like, how do you even stay with this person knowing that she's destroying your career?
How can you turn around and deny them when they said, look, she sent me over 1,000 texts. I have them. Hello? They don't magically disappear. No. Okay. Jesus. And everybody knows about it. I mean, Ray Ferraro, TSN, described it best. It just said, this is a tire fire. Right now, this is just a circus, and it's not going to get any better. I think Karlsson's gone. I think this is it. I mean, if Senators fans still thought there was a chance, a hope, a prayer that Karlsson would still stay with the Ottawa Senators after that, I think this news has just dashed those hopes entirely.
As a franchise. How do you let I don't care if it's a third. I don't care if it's JG Pajot's girlfriend who's getting this abuse. as a franchise, how do you let this happen for so goddamn long?
Which is okay. The crazy hot scale of Mike Hoffman is to amend the crazy hot scale. He's not talented enough to get away with this shit. Just get rid of him. Like, can't you do? Look, I get it.
Well, he's a perennial 20 goal scorer for the last 4 seasons. He does have value, but the problem is that it's not so much him, it's his girlfriend. And
then
the team, listen, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard now for the Senators to be able to get anything of value back for this guy with this news coming out, because there may be teams that would be willing to take him on, but it's going to be like, well, we'll do it but a lot of them are going to go, no, his girlfriend's nuts. We don't want to have that in our dressing room.
I've heard different reports about wife, fiance, girlfriend. They're not married?
Longtime girlfriend. Apparently, I've seen some reports that she's also his fiance. But regardless, long-term girlfriend.
Are there any children? Are there any children?
None.
Okay, then what the fuck? This guy is letting his girlfriend.
You're
exactly. That was exactly what I was getting at. So
sorry, Pete, you can stay in Canada. I'm going somewhere else.
He's not like he needs to be like she's crazy, and then move on.
Well,
and then apologize, obviously.
But I mean,
oh my god, I don't understand this. I don't.
Oh, I know.
How does Mike Hoffman let this happen?
Well, now let's also again, we don't know all the full details of all of this, so I mean, we can't. Listen, I'm with you. I mean, if I was in it, I'd be like, yo, yeah, I know what it's like to have a stalker girlfriend many years ago, and it's like, no, I agree. Yeah, you'd be just like, okay, done, end that, but. The problem here, though, is first of all, they've been trying to move Mike Hoffman. I mean, I was reading a report earlier in the week that Pierre Dorion, the general manager of the Senators, had been shopping him for weeks in the offseason. It was expected that Hoffman would probably be dealt by the draft next week. But now, who can say? Maybe somebody might take him off their hands now, but they're not going to get anywhere near what they might have been able to get for him before. And as I said before, I think this is the kiss of death for any hope the Senators had of re-signing Erik Karlsson. I think he's gone. They're going to they say they're going to make him an offer. I'm sure Dorion will stick to that plan. And he'll reject it, and then he's going to have to turn around and trade him. And so
and you can't even blame Erik Karlsson at this point.
No, you can't at all.
No, not at all. Good God, what that poor guy's been through. And this is just part of a bigger story of just how screwed up, how dysfunctional the Ottawa Senators are. I mean, talk about something falling apart so quickly. This time a year ago, we were all marveling. We were all still marveling about how this team came to within one game of going to the Stanley Cup final. They were this underdog, the little team that could. And of course, Erik Karlsson, who played on two broken heels, and all of this, and how we were all praising him, saying, geez, if the Senators had gone all the way, he would have been the slam dunk for the Conn Smythe. I mean, he was a playoff hero and everything. And it just fell apart so fast. You factor in with all the craziness involving the owner, Eugene Melnyk, and the growing dissatisfaction of the fans and everything like that. It's getting ugly in a hurry.
The Quebec City Senators are going to be great in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Is this the new Marty Brodeur situation, or the Larson situation? This is way worse than all that.
If I may, I do a little NASCAR show with a gentleman named Wilson. It's a terrible name. He's honestly, Todd, get it better.
Was he on an island for 8 years?
He might have stolen someone's wife. Here is.
I love how you just dropped that in.
I did that on the show once, and he kept it in.
May or may not have. I mean, she rose from the ashes.
Yeah. So this guy Kurt Busch. He was dating someone batshit crazy. and to the point where she is now under fire for stealing from the veterans. And he was a pariah for a while, and then he dropped her after I think she beat him up, and then next thing you know, like he's back again. Like Mike Hoffman just needs to shed himself of this, and it'll take some doing, but it'll be fine. And later maybe, unless he gets another psychotic girlfriend.
Well, I don't think that this is over yet. I think there's still a lot more to come out with this story. But yeah, not a pretty sight, and it's a very sad end to. I believe it's the start of a very sad end of Erik Karlsson's tenure with the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, it's not the end you want to go. Real quick, Ekman Larsson, like you said. 8 years, 8 over 8.
Yep.
That's a good deal. That's good value.
Yep. He definitely would have gotten
more than
over that in dollars next year on the open market.
Sure.
And if he had been traded, he probably would have gotten the deal that he got right now.
Yeah.
He would have gotten that from another team.
Logan Couture, long-term deal. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I am. For some reason, maybe it's because I don't watch a lot of Sharks games. I'm not really sold on the idea of Logan Couture.
Why
Am
not?
I wrong? I don't know. Just something about him doesn't beg to me.
Well, Scotty, I would have agreed with you 3 years ago on that. Just because there was, he went through his share of injuries, and there was some issues with some inconsistency earlier, but since 2015-16, and especially during their playoff run, he just found another gear, and he has really come into his own as a team leader with the Sharks. He really has. He really stepped up and sort of filled that void of leadership when Joe Thornton went down this season. When he got hurt, a lot of people thought, "Oh, well, that's it. The Sharks are in trouble. They've lost their leader," and they never skipped a beat. And the big reason for that was because of the play of Logan Couture. I mean, you look in the playoffs this year, for heaven's sake. I'm just looking now, 12 points in 10 games. You even look back when they went on that playoff run. In 2016, 30 points in 24 games. So this guy is real deal here, in terms of leadership and everything else. And yeah, he's let's take a look here. Yeah, well, he's actually going to have he's got 1 year left. He's going in contract year. So next season. So yeah, they can re-sign him this summer. And I think they're going to get it done. And I think he's making $6 million a pop now. I think we can see that probably jump up to $8 million. That wouldn't surprise me.
So you have to look at it, right? I mean, Marlowe's gone with the Maple Leafs. Thornton is gone, more than likely.
Or going, yeah. I would say more than likely.
I mean, Brett Burns and Couture, essentially the faces of your franchise at that point. I mean, there's nobody
Logan
else,
and the Wookiee.
There's nobody else that on that team that you can point at the Sharks and be like, I remember that guy playing for the Sharks for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm. Well, Joe Pavelski. Joe Pavelski, too.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. Are
you saying that they have Wolverine and a Wookiee now?
Yeah. Yes. But this is still a team, and bear in mind too. I mean, they're also looking at if John Tavares hits the UFA market, that they're among the teams that are believed that will have considerable interest in signing him. If they do, then you wonder, okay, what's going to happen? Because I would say they could end up parting ways maybe down the road with Joe Pavelski, because Pavelski's 33, going to be 34. Couture's 29. Couture's almost 5 years younger. So if you're going to re-up him, if you've got Tavares in there and you're going to re-up Couture, then I think you might end up parting ways with Little Joe. But barring that, if they don't get John Tavares, well, then they definitely need to put the money into keep Couture.
That was probably a weird way to say that.
He's Little Joe because
it's Little Joe and Jumbo Joe. That's why they call them. That's the nicknames they give them out there in San Jose. Seriously, there's Little Joe and Jumbo Joe.
Can't give
the only thing I can think of is Joe Thornton scoring 4 goals and whipping little Joe out. So
that'd be great if Joe Pavelski's just out of his pants. Like, wait a minute, what?
Hey.
Wait a second.
Why?
Speaking of San Jose and free agents, Ilya Kovalchuk seems to be having meetings on the West Coast piece.
Kovalchuk 2018.
Shout out Hode Rabina.
peace.
Thank you, Johnny. Only Broadcast Monsters kids would get that joke. Ilya
Checking in from the West Coast. Peace. God, that was so good.
Oh, and apparently he made. All right, we're gonna go off on a Broadcast Monster tangent, Johnny. I don't know if you saw Mick's Pat's post to me.
No.
He dug up a thing about. I asked him a question about what Hode Rabina's name was because I had forgotten about it. I was trying to look it up. He was in a.
That
Herm
wasn't
Edwards
his real name.
No, it was. I just forgot it.
Oh.
I just forgot how to spell it. He actually Herm Edwards is the new coach of Arizona State, and Hode Rabina works for Devil's Insider, and he asked a question. Or no, Devil's Digest. He asked a question, and Herm Edwards was like, "Oh, Devil's Digest. Oh, the only Lord Jesus here. Don't want to talk about those devils." He doesn't realize he coaches the Sun Devils, and that the website's name was after the Sun Devils. Herm Edwards is a joy.
That's so good.
Hode Rabina checking in with Herm Edwards' piece. Kovalchuk, San Jose, LA, maybe Arizona with the Sun Devils. I don't know. With Kovalchuk 2018 as Marcus patent, he wrote it on a piece of paper, mailed it to himself. Now it's copywritten.
Right. I mailed it to myself from 2012.
There it is.
Yes.
And it just said couch. What are we thinking West Coast Covey?
Well, I wouldn't look too much at that right off the bat. I think in terms of the Sharks, I just think they're doing their due diligence right now. Again, they're looking at some bigger fish in the free agent market, but I think they want to keep their options open. So I think that's probably just a bit of tire kicking on their part right now. The Kings, they might have a bit more interest. They're always looking for scoring, and if they could get a guy like Kovalchuk in for, if he's looking for 2 years, it's say 6.5 mil a pop. And I know people will go, "Oh, that's too much. 2 or 3 years at 6.5 mil a season." Take a look at what Patrick Marleau's making in Toronto. That's his comparable. So, I think maybe the Kings would look at that, because then you're just giving up money. You're not giving up assets. Okay. So they might be willing to look at that. A very interesting bit of news there. The Athletics' Craig Custance, he spoke with former NHL defenseman and now current KHL coach Dmitry Yushkevich, who knows Kovalchuk well. And he says that Kovalchuk is coming back to the NHL because he wants to win the Stanley Cup. So if you go by that logic, then okay, the Kings and the Sharks, perhaps. No, this is not like a Fedorov Rideau. No, that's
it's not because he saw Ovi partying over the past 4 days.
Yes, and going, I so want to crush my liver in the same way.
Yeah, if Kovalchuk is anything like
I thought Russia didn't want to win the Stanley Cup. That's all I heard.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now they see the way Ovi's partying. They definitely want it. Yeah.
Well, if he's anything like I am at 35, I look at Ovi and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Though in Ovi's defense, again, he's shedding the burden of over 13 years of bullshit. He's this generation in terms of waiting for Stanley Cup wins. Alex Ovechkin is the Steve Yzerman of our generation.
He's by the way, the fact that
that one vest.
Yeah. No, in like 5 or 10 years, he'll be stealing waitresses in the Minnesota draft.
Yeah, and making true draft picks for the
Seattle Metropolitans.
There you go.
Go ahead. Sorry,
but just back to the thing though. I mean, with Kovalchuk, there's a whole bunch of different teams that are rumored to be interested. I mean, we know the Rangers spoke to him back in April. They might revisit their interest in him. There's talk that maybe. The Islanders, because Lou Lamoriello, he and Lou Lamoriello have a mutual admiration. It goes back to their days with the Devils. The Boston Bruins are thought to be interested. Hey, if you're looking for a possible Stanley Cup contender, there's a good one. Forget about the New Jersey Devils. That ship has obviously sailed. The Detroit Red Wings are pushing, but now if this is the Detroit Red Wings of 5 years ago, I could see it. Not now. don't think the Red Wings are going to have. If he's serious about wanting to play for a Stanley Cup, win a Stanley Cup, Detroit ain't it right now. So, yeah.
By the way, going back to the parade, I'm worried that Nick Bastrom thinks the party is just starting.
Me too.
I don't know what that has in store. These guys aren't going to win a game for the first 3 months.
They're getting it. Now they're going to be.
That's actually really funny. Is that I was sitting there thinking, all right, so when I was a kid, the Caps started winning games in December. I feel like we're getting back to that right now.
Everything's sick.
Oh, guys. It's not that bad.
Yep, it is.
There we go.
Lyle,
it's nice to see you haven't lost your totally lost your cap.
You can hang the banner from the rafters. It's not an attendance banner. It's still a team that can break your heart in an instant.
Oh, Veskin just said you don't fucking suck anymore. Come on.
No. That was for this year.
Yeah,
that was the beginning of this year.
Yeah, this year he said that in a preview we aren't going to be fucking suck. I don't know what that meant. It sounded a little crude. Anyway, the Carolina Hurricanes, not only are they teasing their new jerseys. If you haven't seen this, they look like they're going to be one of the first teams to unveil their third jersey a day before the draft. It looks like no, the day of the draft, they will unveil their black
draft.
Yep, they will unveil it.
Well, they're not the first team to do that.
No, I mean the Jets unveiled their jersey when they drafted Scheifele.
No. I'm sorry. Their third jersey, which is the new third jersey. They have a thing. It's going to be an all black everything jersey under the Adidas banner. They put out a teaser for it, saying on June 22nd they will have quote unquote hashtag take warning.
Wait, did they put out a press release for the press release?
They put out a pre-press release for the press release.
Only we do pre-press releases for the press release.
In any case, Scott Darling's going to be traded, right? Go.
Only if there's a suitable replacement, suitable goal to take his place. And no, that doesn't mean re-signing Cam Ward. That's not happening. That's not happening. Not happening.
How many moves are the Carolina Hurricanes going to make this summer?
I think we'll see them make a couple. I definitely think they're going to trade one of their defensemen to try and bring in a scoring forward. I still think that's going to happen. I see Jeff Skinner's name kicked around there too. Initially, I was kind of skeptical of that because I'm like, well, for a team that needs scoring, why are you trading one of your best scorers? But he's a year out from unrestricted free agency, and he might not be back after this season. And it's like, well, if you're not going to re-sign him, why have that hanging over your head? You know, he's got a full no movement clause, but I dare say he'd probably waive it to go to a contender. So maybe Jeff Skinner goes, and I still think Justin Falk's going to end up on the move too. Their defenseman. I know Noah Hannafin's name's been kicked around out there, but I will be very surprised if they trade Noah Hannafin. They definitely. I think Hannafin has better value at this point, but I still think they can get a decent player for Justin Falk. So yeah, they're going to make a couple moves.
Are we all good? Everyone good? Any more questions before we get to taste sensation and sweeping the nation?
Let's do it.
I'm done. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for haha fuck you. This one especially slathered with the fuck you.
Why are you Capitals fans? Why are the Capitals and their fans dropping so many F-bombs? Look, they play this game called haha fuck you. Why the children are listening? What are you doing?
That was my point. I don't think the Russians really care about on-air FCC rules because there are no such things.
Listen.
And we'll keep on fighting.
Johnny, you're too perfect. We're going to get dinged against us.
Sorry.
So, game 7.
I do like how when they sang "We Are the Champions" after Game 5, losers came out with a very long O.
Yeah. Loser.
So Game 7 of the Calder Cup is going on. Make it a couple days.
Oh my!
Wow. NHL Network's getting their money's worth out of this.
They really are.
The shit out of this.
The Texas Stars are in Game 7 against the Toronto Marlies. The Texas Stars are also the last team to lose to the Hershey Bears, and when the Bears won their last championship in 2010.
Oh,
I was about to tap out.
This is a real fuck you to me, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen,
apparently,
your 2010 Hershey Bears and Texas Stars
Well,
roster
give-
from the final game.
Are you shitting me?
Game number 6 of the Calder Cup Finals in
Lyle,
2010.
Lyle, I will give you the number 1 pick in this.
Yeah,
As
go
you
number
know,
1. Lyle.
someone just
You
set
have to
a
know
record.
somebody.
Someone just set a record for being someone.
Hey,
who won
stop
in-
giving him shit. No, ha. Fuck you.
That's the name of the game. Haha, fuck you.
We'll let him go first. I mean, there are people that were on the Hershey Bears.
Yeah.
I'm
not gonna
giving
tell him who it
I'm
was.
giving Lyle 1 so he doesn't feel so.
He has to know at least one.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to guess. Okay.
Someone. All right.
The
If you don't
2010
know,
Hershey Bears.
There's a fair amount of guys who played in this past
Okay.
Stanley Cup.
right?
Okay.
So-
Okay.
So he's the first player ever to win an ECHL championship, an AHL championship, and an AHL championship.
God, you are awful at this game.
You should have left at 7:30.
Not here at 7:30.
Oh, sorry, 7:30 Central.
He doesn't know who this is. It's not.
I know.
It's fine. I
Okay.
tried to help.
He
I'm
talked
gonna
about it for 10 minutes about the Caps.
I'm just gonna think about players on the Caps roster now, and I'm just gonna shout out names. So I'm gonna say Braden Holtby.
Hey,
There
there
it
he is on
is.
the board.
There
Braden
you
Holtby
go.
didn't play in this game, but he was rostered.
Mark, at
Uh,
least
Counts.
say yours and get
Yeah,
it out
Mark,
of the
go
way.
ahead.
All right, Jay Beagle.
Jay Beagle on the board. Johnny.
Carl Alsner.
Carl Alsner on the board.
Oh, for God's sake!
Lyle.
Here's a fucking deep dives now. Hang on.
Remember, you also have the Texas Stars to choose from.
Oh, fuck them. Fuck them. I'm thinking Capitals right now. God damn it.
the Texas Stars to choose from. Right.
Oh, Jesus. Dmitry Orlov.
Fuck you.
I think it was a little too soon. for
little
Dimitri.
early for Orlov.
All right.
Mark.
You know what? I'm gonna go on the other side of this and
Okay.
laugh at me if you want to. Jamie Benn.
On the board. Beautiful.
I was gonna say that.
Oh, wow.
I was
Beautiful.
gonna go with
It's
that.
a good
Nice
thing you
work.
stayed. It's a good thing you stayed.
Kabam.
Thank
Johnny.
you, thank you, Scotty.
I'm gonna go with Cody Eakin.
On the board, Cody Eakin.
Yeah,
I
he
think I
also
could-
played in the Cup final.
Like I said, he played in the Cup final as well. To Lyle.
To this poor simpering fuck.
To Mr. Haha Fuck You himself, Lyle.
Alex Chason.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
Nope.
I know.
No Alex Chason. Now he's just going to name stars from the early 10s.
I'm just throwing out names now. I don't know.
Mark.
I'm trying to think of guys that was was Dave Steckel still back there?
Fuck you. He
No.
was not, but good call. That would have been a good guess. Johnny.
The old Steckel. Alex Chason is the new Steckel.
He really is.
He wears
he is.
Yeah.
See, this is where I think that it starts to go south.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
No,
I got one.
I think he
got
was
one.
too young.
You got it. I got two. I got two.
Mark's
up.
loading them up.
Shut up.
Wow. Well, fine. What about Matt Niskanen?
No.
Sorry.
What?
He was with the Penguins.
Yeah.
Or no,
I
was
thought he
with
might
the-
have been on
Yeah,
the
he-
Stars still.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But he was not.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
My turn.
oh well.
Lyle.
So I can get insulted again. Because the name of the game. Tom Wilson.
There are a couple Wilsons, none of them Tom.
Fuck.
Sorry. Fuck
Oh,
you. Mark.
Keith Acoin.
Oh, beautiful. Keith
damn it.
Acoin. In the board, Keith Acoin.
My
Oh.
God, you need a fucking
That brought me
diving
up
bell
another
to
one.
friggin' reach these ones.
That
Give
brought
me
me
a
up
break.
another one.
Johnny.
Let's just hope that it wasn't one of the times he was on the Penguins. Chris Bork.
He
On
was
the
my
board, Chris Bork.
he was my number 2.
Chris Bork on the
Chris
board.
Bork.
I hate
Chris
you
Bork
guys.
and Nathan Walker, the new Chris Bork.
I hate you guys so very, very much.
Australian Chris Bork.
Uh,
All right, Lyle, get your wrong answer out of the way.
To be fair, I'm out.
Colin-
I'm out,
Colin
by the
Wilson.
way.
Colin Wilson. No, sorry. Fuck you.
yeah.
Mark's cap. Johnny.
See, I don't remember the guy's first name, but I thought there was a guy named Collins that played for the Hershey Bears for like 45 years. Defenseman.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't play on this team.
Ah.
So, are you
damn it.
tapping too, Johnny?
Yeah, might as well. After
right.
after Chris Bork, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna have
for
to
the-
be traded soon.
For the Texas
Going to be traded
Stars.
to the fourth.
Well,
Right?
at least I got one, which was blatantly
That's
obvious.
good.
I'll take that.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Texas Stars. Dan Janisevsky, Garrett Stafford, Colton Seavor, Aaron Gagne, Scott McCulloch, Raymond Swada, Jamie Benn, Perturo Lindgren, my favorite soldier in Roman days, Maxim Fortunas, Matt Stevenson, Ethan Graham, Landon Wilson, Travis Moran, Trevor Ludwig, Warren Peters, Matthew Boudin, Greg Rollo, Francis Wather, and in goal, Matt Climby and Brett Cron.
Oh my God! None of these people made the NHL except for
If
Jamie.
Landon
Warren, if Warren Peters' nickname wasn't Warren Peace, somebody's missing out.
You know, honest to God, I was thinking about saying Landon Wilson. I thought, nah, he was in the NHL by then. Nah.
For your Hershey Bears, Patrick McNeil. He had 2 goals that game.
Oh,
Shocking. He was a
Carlson, Alsner, Andrew Gordon.
Carlson was there.
Yeah, John Carlson. Did
Go
no one
on.
say John
They never said-
Carlson?
Really?
no one said John Carlson.
I thought he was.
John
I thought he was
I
already
thought
on
he
the.
was in the NHL by that
He had a
point.
goal and
Yeah.
an assist. I thought someone said Carlson.
Wow.
No, John Carlson had a goal and an assist
Wow.
in this game.
It's amazing.
Alsner, Andrew Gordon,
Yep.
said Keith Coyne, Alexander Giroux,
Oh yeah, that guy.
Oh yeah, that was a guy that
The
was
guy
always
who,
on the Hershey Bears.
the guy that Patanzos got confused for, Steve Pinizanato, Chris Bork, like we mentioned, Kyle Wilson,
There's the two
Yep.
Wilsons in this game.
Brian Helmer, the captain,
Brian Helmer.
Jay Beagle, Francois Bouchard, Andrew Jordy, now current Winnipeg Jet, Matthew Perreault,
Oh yeah, Perot.
Mm.
Wow.
Gordon.
Boyd Kane.
Oh no, Boyd.
No, not Boyd
There were
Gordon.
There were 2 Boyds.
Yeah,
In the
Wow.
capital system, yeah.
in the capital system at the same time. Greg Amato, Patrick Weller, and Cody Eakin, we said. Brayden Holtby was said, the other goalie for the Hershey Bears who had 22 saves in the shutout. Michael Neuver.
Yeah, I was actually thinking Neuvert, but
Wow.
Mm.
So next week we will do the first Hershey Bears Calder Cup champion back in 38. I will give double points for anybody who guesses the newbie on the team.
So I'm gonna give one out right now. It's probably Yogi. Yogi Bear was on the team.
He
If I
was smarter
remember
than-
correctly.
He was smarter than the average one.
Hmm.
Yeah. There was also who was the other one? The one that only can prevent forest fires.
Smokey.
Smokey Bear was also part of that team, I'm sure, because we are also Bears.
We are also Bears. What did we decide? Tuesday was the show day that we're doing it next week.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, because
Well,
you're
are
off,
you good with
you're off to
Tuesday
the
then?
draft after that, aren't you?
Yeah, and I got a thing to go to as the for the Dallas Stars at the same time. We would,
and let's face it, you've also got to go and stock up on bolo ties as well. So, you know.
Lyle,
He
to
doesn't
say
have to stock
I don't have to
up.
stock
He has
up.
them.
I just have to put them in my luggage. But yeah,
I didn't realize until today that there were a set of chaps that weren't assless. Throwing that out there.
There's
Wait,
It's the reason they're called assless chaps.
Yeah, why would you need the adjective if all of them were that?
Well, I
Well,
just
I thought it was
assumed that
I
all
thought it was
chaps were assless. Like, why would you?
But why would
I
you
don't
play
know.
assless chaps?
hey, hashtag not all chaps.
Yeah. See, look,
All
if
chaps.
all corn was on the cob, you wouldn't have to specify corn on the cob. It would just be corn.
Fair point.
But okay, I understand that, but I didn't realize that there were chaps that actually covered your ass. That's all I'm saying right now.
Well, I don't know if you're in England and you have a buddy. He's a chap that covers your ass.
Hey, there you go.
All right, so Tuesday, Lyle, we'll probably do an abbreviated.
Carol's Western wear.
Yeah.
And then we'll
Yep.
shout it out. So,
Everybody. I better make note of this. Yeah. Okay.
make
Lyle
note
can stay if
Tuesday.
he wants to hear me cry, but I'm not playing it on the show.
No. Just send me the sound clip.
I don't think I can. It's on Voxer.
Oh,
I don't know how to get it off.
I'll find a way to do it.
Oh,
you can find a way.
incognito window, John.
Yeah.
Incognito window.
Yeah, just send it to me. But
It's completely different getting
again,
it off.
though, I'm like I said, I really am so happy for you guys, and enjoy this, savor it. Never forget this
Actually,
feeling, because
I might be able to record my screen. I bet if I recorded my screen, I could
There you go.
I could save it and then I can send that file through Twitter to Lyle.
Okay.
I'll figure out if I can do that.
Okay.
Hashtag engineering.
All right, Lyle, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We'll talk to you on Tuesday, brother.
Talk to you next week, guys. Take care of your livers.
Yeah, of course.
Holy crap! DC United's winning 3-0. What the fuck is going on?
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
There he goes.
Wayne
Lyle
Rooney.
SpectorsHockey.net. The sporting news. He's working for some kind of news. He's doing things. Go to
He's working for
@SpectorsHockey on Twitter.
everybody.
Is Wayne Rooney part of DC United?
Officially,
Not yet.
yes, now, but not in person yet.
Yeah.
They've
In
agreed,
name
They've
only.
agreed in principle. He's just not stateside yet, I don't believe.
Speaking of DC United, I may or may not have reserved 25 tickets to a game in August. So if anybody wants to go, let me know.
Wow.
So
Will they be in their new stadium by then?
Yes.
Okay.
is Rooney
Yes, they
not-
will.
Did Rooney make the England roster?
No. Mm-mm.
Are you kidding? Really?
Rooney's not on England's roster.
Did Barkley make
If
the
he is, I'm completely lost. But I'd
Did
have to.
Barkley
Well, let
make
me.
the team? I feel like
I don't know.
Scotty. maybe
Charles?
Scotty should start.
I think it's a sticky wicket. I don't know. Is that cricket? I don't know. Do a fuck you at football.
We can do that next week. Ha ha,
England
fuck you.
World Cup squad 2018. All right. England World Cup squad. This might take a little bit. All right.
If I just start saying one name players, I could get one right.
If they were Brazilian.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's not even close to this team, Mark. Do you want me to name off England's World Cup squad?
He's not even on a standby. Yeah, I see.
No.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah. No. He's not there.
I can't believe.
That's why he's coming to MLS.
Yeah, apparently. All right.
Only
fair.
Caribbeans have only Caribbean teams have World Cup players in MLS.
This is an impressive team. Anyway, all right.
England?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I think
I'm gonna give
Don't do well. Johnny, shoutouts.
I'm gonna give a shout out to the Washington Capitals winning Stanley Cup. It was fantastic. It was awesome. To all our fans out there, find yourself somebody that loves you like everybody loves the Stanley Cup.
Not wrong.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Molson Canadian for making a beer tap handle that I didn't know I needed until now. I'm gonna give a shout out to whoever makes these weird stands for beer tap handles.
Hashtag
because
engineering.
this is a random thing that I've heard. Look, it's a fake piece of marble with a screw that goes right into the beer tap handle. Look at that. Look, threaded, boom. God.
It's a standard. It's a mil spec standard, John. Threading.
What did you call me?
Stand's not there.
It's just a thread. It's a thread measurement.
Yeah, but it took somebody to be like, you know what? Beer tap handles need stands.
And that
So-
those people are making a lot of money right now.
I have a beer tap handle that has a Stanley Cup on the top of it for when I get a basement that's finished. I will have something that I can put kegerators, at least one, I believe two, in the basement. Scotty's already called dibs. Actually, when I
I've
finish the basement.
got my little tap handle guy here, so we're good to
Yeah.
GTG, bro.
See, we can throw that on. Whew. I get 2 taps basement. So yeah.
See a poll.
What?
Just kidding.
Just
like Trevor.
Oh, nice. But yeah, so it's been a fantastic week. This might be the best week I've ever had as a Capitals fan.
Hashtag best week ever.
So
You didn't do the thing.
yeah,
What was
Yeah.
the thing?
The thing. You got to do the thing.
you have
Oh,
to
yeah,
do
no,
hand
hashtag-
signals now for hashtags.
Yep, hashtag.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
God, I'm so old.
You're a terrible millennial.
My God. I don't think I'm a millennial.
No, you're not.
Well,
no,
that's
God,
a
no.
different topic for another night.
Yeah,
Um,
that's summer shows.
So yeah, so good. Done with shout outs. Peace.
Mark,
West Coast.
Shout out to the Caps. Shout out to literally every Pitanzo that has been born in the last 40 years. There's been a local championship. Well, I say local. Italy is local to our
that's
family.
local enough.
So John Pitanzo is born. Italy wins the World Cup. Mark Pitanzo was born. The O's win the World Series within the calendar year. Hudson Pitanzo was born. The Caps win the Stanley Cup within the calendar year.
Pretty
So it's just what we do. I'll let everyone know if we are having another child so that people can place bets in Vegas.
good. So the Wizards will win.
I'm not saying what team it's going to be. I'm just saying you have a pick of 5 pretty much. So shout out to the Caps. This has been fun. Shout out to Adroit Theory Brewery.
Ooh.
Throughout the playoffs, I've been drinking these guys, 22 ounce. The name of the Imperial Russian Stout is Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos.
Ooh.
Shout out to them. This was the last one, actually, that Wegmans had. I bought 3 after game 3. So after game 3, I had one for 4, game 4, game 5, game 6. So if it would have went to game 7, I wouldn't have had one because they didn't have any more. But luckily, we didn't need that. So this was game 6 beer. It's now gone. And then shout out to the World Cup starting. This is exciting. One amazing tournament ends, another amazing tournament begins.
Sunrise, sunset happens every 4 years. It's good times. All right. Shout out to the Stanley Cup. We got the cup. We got the.
That's
I
beautiful.
haven't washed it. That's why I drank out of it. So there's that. Shout out to the Oyo. Shout out to the Sports City hats for having my hat that I can get here at the end of the week. So that's pretty dope. Shout out Oyos and enjoying my money. What else we got? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the Caps fans who showed up in big force. Great times. Good effort. Good job. Way to drink it with the people. Way to get the Instagram videos too. That's could be the greatest invention in the world. So yeah, it's been a fun time. Let's enjoy this ride this summer. And then, like I said, 2-year pass for the Caps. That'll probably rescind in November. So it's really at the discretion. Okay. And yeah, we're doing a Tuesday show next week. So get on top of that. We'll let you guys know. If you sign up for the Patreon, you'll get updates. You can pick a segment. You can pick a topic of the 2 topics we give you. Be like Brian and Sean and Angela and Mitch and Damon and Chris and Mark and Ethan and Matthew and Trista and everybody. It's a good time. Patreon.com/faceoffhockey-show. That's it. That's all for Johnny P. Mark with the C. I'm Scotty Watts. Take care of yourself. And someone else has been Face Off Hockey Show on Blog Talk Radio, blogtalkradio.com/FOHS Radio, Facebook.com/FOHS Radio, and Twitter.com/FaceOffHCKY Show. Also on the Blog Talk Radio feed, you get the Soderstrom Bubble, which Jen went in depth about the design of the cup, the foibles with the cup, and we have some fun stories about the cup. So listen to the cup on the Soderstrom Bubble. We got a new logo too. It's on the Soderstrom Bubble at SDR Bubble on Twitter. You can check it out. Probably put up merch sooner rather than later. Till next week. Till Tuesday. Not even a week. Till a couple days. Peace.
This is the end of the story. Stop, freeze, and wait for a second. Evaluate, then make your assessment. Reality, or just another segment. Propagate, educate, lie for a second. No control, my mind seems to roam. Not mine.